They say their families are trapped in their houses by prostitutes and drug dealers. Good evening, everyone. Longtime homeowners in Carthage reach out to Local 12 News for help with an ongoing crime problem.
Many tell us they're so worried they won't even let their children out to play in a fenced yard. Local 12's Rich Jaffe has been investigating. He joins us now live from Vine Street in Carthage, taking a look at the problem and maybe some possible solutions in a story you will only see on Local 12. Rich?
Brad, starting about 11 o'clock this morning when we showed up in Carthage, it was easy to see what clearly appeared to be prostitutes strolling around the streets here. Now, this is Vine Street right here in Carthage, and the residents tell us that business really picks up for the prostitutes about 3:30 when kids are getting out of school, and it would be bad enough if it was taking place right here along Vine Street, but the reality of it is the business they are doing frequently is taking place just a few blocks away in the neighborhoods. As soon as we drove into Carthage this morning, we started seeing women strolling the streets, waving at and getting into cars that stopped. Neighbors say it's gotten so bad they've caught prostitutes with johns in their garages, parked cars, and the alleys that cross the community. What happens when you call the cops?
Nothing.
Come on, Debbie.
Nothing. They say, oh, we'll send somebody out, but by the time they get somebody out here, the problem's gone.
A couple blocks away on Escalon Street where the Wards live.
It's like a drive-through. You have 4 or 5 cars parked there waiting for the dealer to come through, and he's handing it out the window to each car.
And there's all these kids.
And the cops do nothing.
Neighbors say prostitutes stroll their quiet residential streets all day long, and they say they're frustrated that police won't respond.
There was 911 operator told me before, he said, dude, they're not coming. I mean, how should that make you feel? I was furious.
Taking the license plate numbers and stuff don't do no good, so you get to the point where you just give up.
Does that make you mad?
Yeah, it makes me mad.
Melissa Burns says she won't even let her kids play in their fenced yard. You've got cameras in all of the windows?
Yes.
Why?
Because you can't trust the neighborhood. I don't feel comfortable living in my home because of all the break-ins and the thefts, the prostitution.
Block away, Lois Martin says she's afraid to let her grandkids play across the street in the neighborhood park.
My husband, he can go to UDF and they'll be out there panhandling, asking for money, and if he tells them, he ain't got no money, they'll get mad and, wave their condoms at him, and yeah. So he's got to where he goes to Speedway a lot anymore.
Now, that UDF that Lois Martin was talking about is right across that street. It's right there on the corner. We heard the same comments over and over and over again from the people who live here. So I reached out to Lieutenant Steve Saunders with Cincinnati PD. And I told him what they were saying out here. He said that Cincinnati police would start pulling the data to see calls for service out in this area. He also asked if he could talk with some of the residents who were talking with us, and I talked with them and gave him their phone numbers as well. He promised to reach out to them immediately. And in the course of all that, he also contacted the sergeant for the district out here and some of the neighborhood officers to see what they can do immediately to try and start taking care of the residents' concerns. And we will tell you how that goes in the very near future. In Carthage, Rich Jaffe, Local 12 News. Brad?
Rich, I assume you're standing next to a business there. Did you get a chance to talk to any business owners in that area as well?
We did. We spoke with a couple of the business owners here, and they echo the sentiments of the residents here. The difference is many of these business owners don't live here. So after hours, after they lock up and go home, it's a whole different ballgame for the folks who are here around the clock.
All right.
Brad?
Rich, thanks very much. We'll have more on that as it continues to develop.